Welcome back, fellow collectors. It is I, Brooklynwolf, the collector, and I'm here to talk about the 6-scale figures of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles produced by Threezero, a company that had my curiosity, now they have my attention. And the reasoning behind that is Threezero did a phenomenal job with the Turtles. I really didn't know what to expect, and when I started playing with them, I was pleasantly surprised at how well they were made. From the sculpt, paint, detail, and articulation, just phenomenal. The fun factor for these guys is extremely high, and I am so happy to own a set. So let's get on with the review. Leonardo, he's the leader in blue, does anything it takes to get his ninjas through. And as you can see, he has 2 katana blades, which is fitting for the leader. Altogether, Leo has 3 pairs of hands, 2 slightly open, 2 fists, and 2 to hold his blades. Very basic, but it gets the job done. Take a moment to look at this. Truly look at it. Freeze frame if you have to. Look at the detail in the sculpting of the shell and the sheaths. Donatello is the fellow, has a way with machines. In terms of accessories and moving parts, Donnie comes with the most. And just because he has the most, doesn't necessarily mean he's the best. More on that later. So he comes with 6 hands, 2 open palm, 2 slightly open, and 2 fists, as well as a pair of glasses, 3 tablets, headset, and 4 bow extenders. And please, freeze frame this if you have to, and just admire how much is going on with Donnie's back. And whatever Donnie's carrying on his shell, I will admit, it does look a little bit like a proton pack from Ghostbusters. Raphael's got the most attitude on the team, and he comes with the least accessories. He doesn't really need that much to begin with. It is a shame, however, that he did not come with his toothpick. Given the scale, I do understand why they didn't include it. So if anyone wants a toothpick, you gotta make it yourself. It shouldn't be too hard. And here's his shell. Look at the attention to detail. Incredible. Michelangelo, he's one of a kind, and you know just where to find him when it's party time. I'm such a dork. I'm sorry. Anyway, Mikey comes with a couple more accessories compared to Leo, and especially Raph. He's got 2 necklaces, one with a dog tag and the other with shades that he cannot wear, 3 pairs of hands, 2 slightly open, 2 fists, and 2 to hold his nunchucks, and a skateboard. His nunchucks are awesome. They look like wood, but they're not. And they're kind of flexible. And finally, Mikey's shell. Need I say more? Just gorgeous, isn't it? Here are some shots I tried to replicate from the movie. What do you guys think? Did I do an okay job? And here's something I tried to recreate from the second movie. With this movie being a Michael Bay production, everything has been cranked up to 11, meaning emphasis on the mutant in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And rather than going for subtlety, the designs are packed with visual cues to illustrate what personality each turtle has. With Raph being the moody gladiator type, Mikey and his carefree attitude, Donnie with his tech savvy, and Leo's seriousness, all recreated beautifully by the crew at Threezero. Another aspect I was astonished by was their articulation. You'd think the material they're made of would severely limit their movement. While there are limitations, you can still get them into some pretty dynamic poses. But unfortunately, not everything is perfect. Articulation-wise, Donnie is the weakest. The ratchet joints in his elbows are very weak, and it's a shame. It really is. Everything else was great. It's just those elbow joints. They just couldn't hold any 90-degree angle. I don't know if anyone else is experiencing the same problem, but for my copy of the figure, that's what I had to deal with. Don't get me wrong, it's still a great figure. The articulation points are a little lower than, say, a standard Hot Toys figure. But what's featured here, such as ratcheted elbows, knees, and outward shoulders, ball-jointed neck, legs, waist swivel, ab crunch, wrist, and ankles, are all quite impressive and more than enough to achieve something really spectacular. Even with the neutral A stance with a slight tilt of the head, they're still very expressive. And I believe it's all due to the way they look and the way they were engineered. Surprisingly, it takes effort to make them look derpy, for lack of a better term. With human figures from the sideshows, the Hot Toys, the moment you take them out of their packaging, you pretty much need to spend a considerable amount of time to get them to look just right, and any slight turn or tilt of any body part just throws it all off and they end up looking silly. But with these turtles, you don't get any of that. Trust me, I am not overselling it. They are currently my favorite, hands down. Definitely get them while you still can. And that brings us to the end of this review. And once again, if you liked it, please like and subscribe. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. See ya!